Good morning or good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this video. This is King of Games 331 here to bring you a video on Hunting Simulator 2. Now, you may have picked this up on the PS5 sale that happened for a pretty good deal, I might add, and it's a very good game. I thoroughly enjoy it, especially if you're a fan of hunting. Just want to give some quick tips, show you how to play the game, put you in the right direction. This is your lodge, and as you can see on these animals that you hunt, you can put them up in your lodge as a trophy. Um, First item we're going to talk about is the laptop here. There will be a tutorial at the beginning of it. I highly recommend everybody play the tutorial. It is where you get your first companion. But here we have the licenses. We have three different areas. We have Colorado, we have Texas, and then we have Europe. These licenses you have to purchase, and as you can see, they do cost you credits, which your credits are over in the top right hand corner. Also pay attention to the calibers for each animal that is on here. So for instance, if we go to, let's see here, the ram. The ram can be hunted with 243 arrows and bolts, all those different calibers there in the bottom right hand corner, whereas the coyote can only be hunted with a 223 or a 243 arrows and bolts. Turkeys can only be hunted with a 12 gauge or 20 gauge arrows and bolts. Rabbits are the same exact thing, so is pheasants. Um, so are the ducks and the bobcats, and strangely enough, the mountain lion as well. Most all the other animals can be hunted with higher caliber weapons and arrows and bolts as well. You want to purchase your license before you go out into the area and go hunting, because you get fined credits. Like I said, up there in the top right hand corner, you get fined credits for each time you shoot an animal that's unlicensed. And not only that, but you can't claim that animal either. They fine you about 250 for each animal. Also, shot placement is very, very important, because if you shoot the animal more than twice, it will also fine you 250 credits for too many shots. Excuse me. Um, then we're going to get into the weapons. You have a whole slew of weapons that you can go through here. We have, even though, and I hate that they do it this way, it's a varmint rifle, but the varmint rifle itself can be purchased for mainly the coyotes, foxes, stuff like that, but you cannot use it for rabbits. Rabbits have to be done with the shotgun or the bow and arrow, and they are by far the hardest animal to hunt in the game. And you'll see why when we go back out into the field. Then we have our line of shotguns here, and we have our line of Armalite rifles. Most of these are going to be in your lower calibers, again, for those smaller game animals. You have a crossbow, a recurve bow, and then a selection of compound bows that are all pretty much the same. It's just different camo skins on there. Optics, you have different scopes that you can buy, and of course the price of the credits will be down there at the bottom for all those different ones that you have. Items, we have binoculars, and then we also have range finders. Range finders are a lot better than binoculars. They may not be able to see as far, but however, it gives you the approximate, distance that you are away from the animal. You also have wind powder. Wind powder is going to help you determine which way the wind is blowing, so that you can stay downwind of the animal. You have different calls: deer collar, elk collar, boar collar, moose collar, pheasant, short goose, duck, long duck collar, predator collars, and of course red deer collars. And then we have scent killer. Scent killer is going to have a time limit on there, so it's not going to stay on there forever. But these are all the same scent killer. It's just in different quantities. And then we have, of course, your lures: your whitetail, mule deer, moose, elk, roe deer, wild boar, wolf, red deer, and then rabbit, which is for predators to bring in. Clothing: you have different types of clothing that you can wear. Pay attention to the visibility on there, because the visibility says medium. That is the visibility that you are to the animal that you are hunting. So anything that has a low visibility, which unfortunately right now, as far as the face goes, is basically this. Pay attention to that for the low visibility, because that means it takes longer for the animal to notice that you are in the area. The one main thing you're going to want to get right off the bat with your credits before you even purchase any other type of gear is going to be your backpack. So standard backpacks only do +2 items. The bigger backpacks is what you're going to go for, because this will be +4 items. Excuse me, +4 items and +1 weapon. This allows you to carry 2 weapons out into the field, so that you can carry that shotgun with you and that rifle, so that you can be able to get, more animals and companions. So we have a few different companions here. We have a beagle. The beagle is going to be mainly used for flushing animals out in big open areas, and also can be used just like the rest of the dogs to track down animals as well. Now, I will stress this enough. I can't stress this enough. When you first get your animal, they are inherently stupid. They are better whenever you are trying to level them up and going from there. We have the yellow lab, the black lab, and the brown Labrador. These are retrievers. So these are going to be more for your duck hunting and small game. When you shoot them out over the water, you're able to give a command to your dog to go out and then retrieve that animal and bring it back to you. And then we have the German Shorthair Pointer. Now the pointer is, of course, like the name says, a pointer. Once it finds the animal, instead of barking loudly like the beagle will do, it will point silently at the animal in the vicinity of it, so that you can quietly take care of that animal. So that's going to be your basics for that. Now, in the rest of this area here, back out here, we have a shooting range. Our little companion sitting here, old Cujo. And then we go in here. This is going to be your loadout. So your loadout is going to allow you to select your backpack, select the weapons that you want to take along with you, and then of course select your items that you want to take along with you as well. And you can see, of course, there is some of the items in here that I have. These over here is going to be your wiki, which kind of gives you a rundown of the actual the game. It allows you to tell this other. See, here's the fines. Fines will be imposed on a player for actions considered illegal. You'll be fined with shooting an animal without a license, shooting an animal too many times, shooting a female animal. Then that's specific animals only, mainly your big game. You can't shoot female animals. It has to be the male. Shooting an animal with the wrong caliber, you get fined for that as well, and not bagging an animal before returning to your lodge. So if you kill an animal and you can't find it, you better hope that you do, because they will give you a fine. There are different variants of the animal in here. Some of them are legendary animals, which are adult animals that give you an exceptionally high score. And then, of course, in here is your bedroom. Interacting with the bed will allow you to change the time slot to morning, afternoon, and evening. Different animals will be active at different times of the day. And then you have clothing where you're able to put on different types of clothing before you head out into the field. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and head out and see what we can do. We'll go to Pawnee Meadows. Okay, so Pawnee Meadows is a big open area. It's much easier to spot animals in this particular area. This is the reason why I chose this. You can already see we have some ducks and goose over here. But just to give you an idea of how big the area is, we have a tree stand all the way over there. Okay. Given the map, that's where that tree stand is at that we're looking at. Okay. The map is pretty big. You're going to find towers, which are going to be those tower stands. You're going to find camps around the area, which allow you to fast travel. There's also blinds that are in the area. Sometimes there's just tree stands, but this is your main cabin, and this is where you're going to go to always claim your animals. Now, first animal we're going to do, we're going to run over here. Because I have the compound bow equipped, we will see if we can get this taken care of easily. You can see we have some gooses here. And this is where your rangefinder is going to come in handy. Now they will make noise, and when they make noise, you can tell roughly where they're at. But we're going to aim for this Ross's goose right here and see if we can get him. And there we go. Okay, so at this point, you can't go out into the water. So make sure that you have a Labrador Retriever with you because you're not going to be able to get the animal. Once I hit retrieve, he will go out into the water. Takes him a little bit. But he will go out and retrieve that animal for me and bring it back. There we go. And he will lay it down here at my feet. Actually, let's back up a little bit so that it doesn't fall into the water. And he'll bring it right out here to me. Alrighty. And we have a Ross's goose. Now, I just heard something, and I think that was a fox. Oh, nope, it was a coyote. Okay, we're going to reload this, and then at this point, we're going to tell him to stay here.
And don't make a sound.
But I'm also going to praise him and tell him he did a good job.
You did real good.
So right now we're at 127 yards away. I'm going to crouch down, and then I'm going to pull up my predator collar. That will cause him to come this way. We just want to kind of stay still and wait till he gets within range. Now see that right there? When it turns red, he's caught wind of you. He's going to take off running. So there's not much you can do about that. You can try to catch up with the animal and track them. Anytime they leave, they can do that. But I can see another animal right across the way there. And that is a bighorn sheep. As you can see, I don't have a license for that animal. So I can't take that animal. But let's give you an idea of what it's like. See how he keeps getting suspicious? There we go, see? It does a lot like that. Okay, we bagged one animal, which was the goose, and then I'm going to come back and show you how to take care of that. Once you've bagged an animal, you can come back to, you have to come back to the lodge here, little bitty cabin, and we're going to hit claim animal. Now, this tells you right here what your score is for it. The credits you're going to be given is 49 credits for this animal, and you can choose to keep the trophy and put it up in your lodge if you want to. I, of course, because I already have one in my lodge, I'm going to sell it. And you can also change your loadout in here. So with the weapons, right now we have the crossbow. Let us switch it out to the 223. And we'll use that scope on there. So the 223 is going to allow me to take the coyote and the fox at a much longer range. And you can see right now he's searching. He'll search for he'll search for tracks. He'll search for different things. And anytime he finds something, you want to pull up his menu and praise him for it, because that's going to increase all of the levels. Once these levels get higher up on the thing, they get much better at hunting for you. And basically, that is the game in a nutshell. If you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comments. I'll try to get to them as best I can. In the meantime, hopefully you guys enjoy the game and happy hunting.